It's good evening, everyone. It's Wednesday, November 16th. How is it November 16th already? It seems like November is just flying by. It's crazy. Lots of stuff happening this week in the tech world. I can't even tell you. I can't even begin to tell you how upset I was with myself and my body, and the school system that my kids go to for being sick on Monday. Was it Monday when Front Page Tech, John Prosser and the crew over there revealed, gave us the first renders, the first look at the Pixel Fold? See, I had a feeling. Black Eyed Peas. I had a feeling when John put out the tweet, and if you guys follow John and Front Page Tech and everything on Twitter, you'll notice that like his profile and everybody else's profile, Burn, everybody else, their profiles go black. They go black. They change their profiles black, just a black blob, just black when they have a big leak. So I had a feeling that this was Pixel related or Google related. So I kind of prepped myself. I was like, okay, if it's this, I'll say this. If it's this, I can reveal this. And I want to be really quick on like getting the video and the pictures and everything from the website, and whatnot. And I tried bugging John. He's like, no. And then I got sick. It was the day before my birthday, the 11th. And I could, you know when you're just about to get a cold and you feel that scratchiness in your throat and you're like, nah, I'll just drink some water or whatever. And then I woke up on my birthday and it was worse. And I'm like, no, okay, it's my birthday. That was Saturday. I'm like, okay, it can't get worse. I'm going to celebrate and open some presents with the fam. I'm going to enjoy a couple of beverages this evening. My wife made just the most amazing, like key lime cheesecake, a lime cheesecake, key lime. Oh, so good. And it was after dinner. I was like, I think I'm getting sick. Sure enough, wake up Sunday and I'm like, oh my God, no. But I'm like, okay, I'm still determined. I'm gonna get a reaction out of this. I'm gonna put it on the Pixel channel. I'm gonna, keep on bringing out content that's relevant that people want, that are searching for. I'm looking at Google Trends, if it's this, if it's that, I had a couple of theories, but I was leaning towards the Fold thing because there's not enough information out there yet for like Pixel 8 and stuff like that, and Pixel 8 is probably gonna be like an additional refinement. Who knows? But I mean. And I had a feeling it was Fold stuff. Oh, no more camera. See, this is where the camera 4 used to be. This is where the iPad used to be. No more anymore. So anyway, and then I woke up, and so I went to bed Sunday sick, and I thought I'd pop in the Tylenol, and I was, the Neocitrin, and we were doing shots of NyQuil and everything like that. And then I woke up Monday morning on purpose at like 5 a.m. because usually around 9 a.m. my time, 9 or 10 o'clock my time, Mountain Time, is when Front Page Tech releases stuff in the mornings. And I was just gone, like my voice, everything's gone, just gone. Like it was worse the day before, probably just as bad. And yeah, and I was just, all I could do was sit there in bed and going, and just look at and read the art. And I love the episode. John, I thought Front Page Tech and this crew over there, I thought they did a great job. The renders by Ian were beautiful. The coverage is awesome. There's more details than I thought there would be, although I still have a lot of questions, and in terms of, unfortunately, direct comparisons with competition. We're going to talk about it a little bit later, but that's all I could do, and then share out the video and everything. That's all I could do, and kind of give a quick little, hot take there on Twitter and everything, which is, anything, and I think we can all agree with this. Even if you're not a Pixel fan, even if you're not a foldable fan, competition is good. It breeds and helps innovation, and it's good for consumers. It really is. It really is. Okay. Yeah, the price, Sean. Dude. You know what that is in Canadian? That's like 2,300 Canadian. I don't know if I'm exaggerating. Gino says, do the calculations. You're my fellow Canadian here, or Don Coven. Thanks guys for being here. If it's $1,799 US, so $1,800 US, that's like 2,300 plus Canadian. I'm just doing a rough thing in my head, but Like, damn, dude. Like, that's wild, man. But I mean, maybe Google's throwing that number out there, or maybe that, you know, that came with the leak, or whatever you want to call it, so they can get a feel, and then they'll come out at Google I/O and be like, hey, it's $1,000. I can tell you this though, the people at TCL had an amazing foldable Project Chicago. I tried it out at CES. They actually announced it a year before. Michael Fisher, Mr. Mobile, Captain Two Phones, he did an excellent look at it. It was never released, and the reason why TCL never released it is because they wanted to be competitive on the market, i.e. with Samsung, specifically in the North American market, and they couldn't get it to that price point. So you got to think, if TCL didn't bring something out like that because of price point to be competitive, would Google think the same way? And I'm hoping they would, especially when you look at their pricing strategy and how they've competed against Apple and Samsung and whatnot all in the past. Like, this is not an everyday device. This is not an A series device. This isn't even a regular Pixel device. We are in new territory here with a foldable. Now, I know this is late. I'm late with this. I wish I could have put together a video, and I'm kicking myself for that. Guys, stay healthier, drink more orange juice and stuff like that. I blame 2265 Canadian. Yeah. But when it fees you over 2,300 for sure. Yeah, and I don't even know if they put import tax on top of that, dude. That is just crazy. So like, I know that most people are not buying their devices outright. They're going to a carrier and they're getting it. I can tell you right now that most carrier franchisees, and these are people that own individual stores, they just pay for the name above, like TELUS, Bell, Rogers, whatever it is. They are not going to be carrying very many of these. It might be a special thing. Like, I know franchisees that have 11, 15, 20 plus stores, and they only carry like maybe 3 or 4 folds or flips between all the stores because it's expensive. They got to pay for these devices outright from the carriers. And then the customers got to come in, they got to sign off, right? So there's a lot of stuff with that as well. So I don't think a lot of people, at least here in Canada, are buying these outright. We don't get the deals that Americans get here in Canada. We don't get to trade in an 8-year-old device and swap it across for a fold or flip. They don't give us those deals here. We've never gotten anything close to that. Not even. And again, it's about competition. It's about dollar. It's about population. Keep this in mind, people. Man, I'm sorry. Keep this in mind, people. I'm hyped up here. The population of California is larger than all of Canada. The state of California has a higher population than all of Canada. We're peanuts here, like, seriously, right? It's the reason why we only got 3 carriers. It's one of the reasons why we pay some of the largest fees in the world for data and for mobile connections. It's the reason why we don't get a lot of the same deals and whatnot. There was a Pixel device in the past. I think it was the Pixel 5a or the 5, jeepers, that we didn't get here in Canada. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, I have questions about the Pixel, and we're gonna dive into that. So we still have 3 cameras. By the way, everybody, this was hiding in a FedEx package that we missed on my front doorstep. It was behind a shovel. This is the 30-watt Nomad transparent adapter. So they sent me. You guys have seen the 20 watt, right? Well, they came out with this limited edition transparent, and I've got an affiliate link down below there. If you go ahead and click that, I'll take you to the Nomad website. You can order one yourself. It's still got some gray here, but it's translucent all around. There's little details though. I just noticed this today. I don't know if the camera's going to pick it up, but underneath, yeah, right here, underneath, if you look right below my finger, it says Nomad on the inside. I just thought that was kind of cool. I was looking at today. I was like, this is really sexy. I like this. I like what Nomad is doing here. I hope they do more like translucent kind of thing. It just makes it interesting. Anyway, so that's a 30 watt 30. So this is great for anything. Even you can even power Sorry, you can even power a MacBook Air with this. And there's the 20 watt. That's going to be good for any mobile device. But this is going to cover you for everything. And of course, this is the 65 watt GAN that splits into 20 and 45. But if you plug into just one, it's 65. I like this, man, with the folding prongs and everything. We talked about this last week and everything. Again, thanks to Nomad. But anyway, I thought it was kind of funny because my son went outside Saturday night and he's like, "Hey, Dad, there's another FedEx package here." I'm like, "What?" And our camera, our Nest camera, unfortunately, was up and down because our internet was up and down on Saturday. And so this charger had been sitting in a FedEx package along with a wallet and a Nomad sticker that no longer sticks, and it still works. It was cold outside. Yeah. $17.99 USD is $24.02. So 2,400. What? I don't even pay that much for my mortgage over the course of 3 months. I don't think. No, I don't. Like, I apologize for hacking and whatever. When I get excited and everything, the sinuses take over, and I'm still fighting this thing and whatever. Yeah, what indeed? What? Remember Little Joe? What? Okay, no, it's not okay. It's not okay. That pricing. Oh my god. So anyway, the work done by Front Page Tech, John Prosser, Burn and Jern over there, renders by Ian, etc. Awesome work. We're gonna take a quick look at the website, at the article. I would encourage you to watch the video if you haven't yet. I know that all of you have, but the article does have a kind of it has all the same information. But coming out of this, I have a lot of questions, and I think this is what the next Pixel video is going to be, of like what they didn't tell us and everything and whatnot. Because honestly, you know that this is going to be, and it's already been directly compared to, what Samsung is doing, specifically in the North American market. Now, outside of that, I know that there's lots of Chinese devices coming, whatnot, very, very competitively priced and whatnot. But the fact of the matter is Google's carried by the carriers here in North America. So is Samsung. So that's where the majority of devices move. That's how you move your devices within North America, is you get on board with carriers. Yeah. Deals overseas. I've never looked at some of the deals overseas, Sean, but I do know what you're talking about, man. Anyway, so when we go through here, first of all, I really dig this camera bar. I love that it's familiar Pixel territory, but it's different. It doesn't go all the way across. It sticks out. It says, "Hey, I'm here to take pictures. Let's go." I love it. Now, John did mention that the camera is 9.7 megapixels, front and back. So both the interior and that one is 9.7. But what are the other two? There's obviously 3 lenses here, right? So there's a wide, probably telephoto, and the regular, right? Really digging the colors. I think these are safe colors that work for everybody. So you've got a white and you've got like a gray or chalk. They're calling obsidian and chalk. Yeah, the Oppo Find N does look good, man. I definitely would love to get my hands on that. So this is, hopefully this isn't too loud. Let me just turn down this music a little bit. There we go. But yeah, these are safe colors. Anybody can dig with these, and where you go, right? Hinge looks legit. I'm interested. Here's one of the questions that I have. How is the inside crease? So we know that, when you open up a fold, whatever, and a lot of foldables right now, there's still a crease that you can either see or you can definitely feel. We know like first generation flips, folds, whatever, was definitely apparent. Apparently it's gotten better. So that's one of my questions is how apparent or how defined is this going to be, right? My understanding from people that have used folding devices, and keep in mind that I've never used one, like full time. I've obviously handled and tried one out here and there, but never consistently. I've never put my SIM card into one. But my understanding is from people that use these things full time is that you get past it right away. Like it just kind of disappears. You don't worry about it because you have all this extra real estate. You have a smaller, a smaller device to put in your pocket if it's like a flip type thing, whatever. So my question is how apparent is it going to be? Is it going to be one of those things that people are going to really go, look how you can see it, and we'll see. It's too thin though. We aren't able to make batteries that thin yet. TechWire, are you talking about the Oppo Find N? I think that's what you're talking about, because from what I understand with John's video here, from Page Tech's video, is that this is a very thick boy device and whatnot. So I think that's what you're talking about there. Anyway, continuing through, safe colors. I want to know if that crease is really defined or what the deal there is. Actually, this is probably better if I go like this back and forth when I'm bringing up the questions here. So going through here, those bezels on the front and also on the inside, I know a lot of people are going to say, what the heck? And I would rather, for myself personally, I'm okay with bezels like this as long as it's uniform all the way around, right? So if it's thick up top, thick down there, and then a little bit less thick on the sides, left and right, as you can see there with that open view there, I think I'm okay with that. With next generations, we know they'll get closer to the edge and whatnot. You're still getting, obviously, a lot more real estate than what you had before, right? Definitely. Continuing on here. Whoop. Let's keep on going through here. Oh, you're talking about the Pixel. Yeah. I mean, it looks like a thick device to me to TechWare, but I guess, I mean, that kind of leads me to the next thing. Like, what are the exact dimensions? Is this thing just as big or just as small? Is this thing... that wasn't where I was going. Is this thing about the same dimensions of a Samsung Fold? Because again, like I said, we're going to be getting nothing about comparisons because that's the leading foldable device in North America kind of thing. Is it have as much screen real estate when it's open up? What are the nits? How bright is it? What is the resolution? These are all questions that I would love to have answered between now and whenever it's announced, or obviously during the announcement where. These are all things for people to to decide. And of course, let's keep in mind, everybody, nothing is announced, nothing is for sure until it's announced. But John Prosser and Front Page Tech have an amazing record of nailing Pixel details before they're announced. If you go back looking at the Pixel 6, going back looking at other Pixel devices, things like that, they've always nailed it in terms of what these devices look like and what they're going to bring. Okay, I would definitely, I would say it's a safe bet. I really would. But again, nothing is for sure until it's announced. But yeah, continuing through here, again, this is just a render based on what they saw for the real device, apparently, right? What is this song? There we go. All right. Again, you have speakers on the top and bottom. The grills all look good. USB Type-C, obviously. Okay. I love the fact that they put a fingerprint sensor on the side here. I think that's obviously your own choice. You don't want people pushing on the screen. We know from what Samsung went through, you don't want people pushing on that screen. Right? So I think that's brilliant, right? Yeah, exactly. They nailed the Pixel Watch. They actually had actual marketing pictures and whatnot. I covered that as well. So there you go. And again, lots of just the renders are just beautiful. The renders that they've done here are really, really beautiful. Just so well done. Really, like this is going to be a beautiful device. So anyway, $17.99, May of 2023, which lines up with Google I/O and that kind of announcement. The source said it's really effing heavy. So again, what's the weight on this thing? Like, let's find out. Like, what's the weight on this thing? If it's really heavy, that has me concerned because we know that the Samsung Fold is, it's a decent weight, but for the source to say it's really effing heavy, that has me, I wouldn't say concerned, but like, again, it's obviously, it sounds like it's going to be heavier than a Fold, right? I guess we'll find out exactly what, that weight is once we know the details. And yeah, excellent brought up here by Brian Shoup, Burn there with all the details. So again, I would encourage you guys to definitely take a look at the website, the video if you haven't yet. But yeah, I left with more questions than anything else. I'm excited about a folding device. I don't know if a folding device is for me. I hope that Google does explore doing a flip type device. So something that opens up into a familiar design, that opens up into something familiar. It closes and then opens up to something that we're familiar with. Having that extra screen real estate with a Fold, it's very appealing. It is, but I also know from my friends and family and peers that have folding devices that they've always gone back to their regular bar thing because they can't use the device one-handed, or you have to use two hands when you open it. Some apps don't react and whatnot. I don't think we're still in the infancy of folding and flipping devices. I think we're kind of past that, but we're not to where we are with like bar phones. So going back to some of the questions I have, what is the exact display specs? Display brightness, battery size. We want to know those milliamps, overall size, open and close, specific reasons for the large bezels. Is there a reason for that? The outside camera is 9.5, the inside is 9.5, but what are the other cameras? Metal and glass design. What kind of metal? Is it a titanium? Is it a stainless steel metal? Like, is it like some sort of composition? Why hasn't Google trademarked the name Pixel Fold yet? According to John, they haven't trademarked that yet. That would definitely come up on the radar if that happened. We see that all the time with leaks whenever so-and-so has trademarked the name. We see that kind of stuff all the time. Wouldn't it be funny if some Joe Nobody went in and just trademarked the name? There's got to be something out there that obviously stops that, but I think that would be kind of funny. Kind of like that company that took the name iWatch, so they had to go Apple Watch, if you guys remember the story there. Doug Houston, I think we're on the same path, you and I. Flip over fold design, absolutely. But again, I've never used one of these designs continuously. I speak from what I know that my peers and my friends and family have used, and their feedback and their usage and whatnot. I don't know about you guys, but I like being able to pick up my Fold and be able to use it with one hand. As big as this thing is, that's nice to do, right? That's nice to do. So, Pixel Bends. Can you imagine if they call it the Pixel Bend? That would be awesome. Pixel Bends. And they use a Z rather than an S at the end, or as a Z, as our American friends call it. The front-facing camera, they're according to John and the leak and the information there he has, they're both 9.7. They're both 9.7. Or sorry, 9.5. Excuse me, 9.5. Okay, I'm going through some of the notes here. Notes that I have here. And again, like I said, can we expect a flip type style? So those are questions that I have. Those are kind of a follow-up that I'll probably be doing over in the Pixel channel, whatever. And anybody that's into the leaks and whatnot, these are things we'll definitely be looking for, and hopefully people that have those connections can find that out. Hopefully, maybe we'll see Google get ahead of this and say, oh yeah, we are, and here it is. I like it when Google does that. I like it when they do that. They kind of call out the front page text and the leakers and whatnot, saying, okay, yes it is, here it is. And does it ruin it for everybody? I don't think so. Because everybody outside of this tech bubble is still, oh, there's a new phone. Oh, there's a new iPhone. Oh, there's a new Pixel. Oh, there's a new Samsung. Right? It makes it fun. Makes it interesting, right? Where is it? No, it's not under display as per the video tech where it was up in the top right hand corner in that thick border, in that thick bezel type border thing. He did point it out in the video there. It's right up there. So it's not under screen. Thankfully, it's not under screen. So if it means a good camera because you're not going under screen to try to maximize screen real estate, I'm okay with bezels. I'm okay with that, right? If the metal's the same as the camera bar on the Pixel 7 Pro, I'd likely pass. I can hear scratches easily. I don't know. I don't have my Pixel 7 Pro yet. I'm gonna hopefully pick it up this weekend. That's something I need to check out because I've heard about that with that new design, whereas compared to the Pixel 6 series. If you guys look at my camera, I've always had a screen on. I've always had a skin on here. I don't have any noticeable scratches, but then again, I kind of baby my devices, I guess, if you will. On a side note, just to make people hungry, I'm eating 4 cheese pierogies. I'm gonna one up on you there. Did you see the picture of the Montreal smoked meat sandwich I made today for lunch? Whew. Let me tell you, man, that's some good eating right there. Some nice Dijon. Whew. I love it. I love it. What are you daily driving? A Pixel Benz. Could you? All right, let's see what you did there. I need to drink something because my throat's being scratched there again. Anyway, Sean G says here, I may be willing to get it. The slab phones are great, but I'm looking for a new challenge. I get it, dude. I totally get it. I mean, who knows if I would change my mind after having my SIM in a device for 24 hours. So, I wouldn't know because I've never used one of these devices consistently or, for a longer periods. So anyway, there's the Pixel Fold leak rumor renders based on the information that Front Page Tech has. Again, like I said, they have a terrific record of pretty much nailing these things. They did it with the Pixel, the 6 series. They did it with the Aries A series, the Watch series, and other Pixel devices going back when. It makes it fun. It makes it exciting. I like it. I like reading about this kind of stuff because I love Pixel devices and Google devices in general. So I'm hopefully going to do a little more coverage over there on the Pixel channel, and we'll go from there. So, where do I go with this? I didn't want to talk about this today, but here we are. Pork tenderloin mismarked for $1.50. Nice. Twitter is still a cesspool that we all love. After last week's, I felt exhausted at the end of last week with all that Twitter coverage and whatnot, and talking about alternatives and this and that. It seems like things have calmed down a little bit, and then listen. You don't question or show up your boss online, especially publicly. There's going to be consequences. So I think it was a couple days ago, Elon publicly fired an engineer that questioned about something with Twitter. I can't even remember. I don't even remember exactly what it was. But when I saw the dude reply back and saying, he has no idea what he's talking about, I'm like, you're done. You're done. He must have known that was going to happen. So that's the latest. And now Twitter Blue is going to be held off. Twitter Verified is going to be held off until November 29th. Full disclosure, I paid for it. I've had Twitter Blue before. I paid for it. I got my check mark. Ooh. The editing feature's nice. The folders feature's nice. Stuff like that. We talked about this before. But I did cancel it because honestly, if things go belly up, I just don't want my credit card information. I don't want that subscription still going and for whatever, especially with everything else that's going on with other tech companies and crypto and this and that and everything. So, I guess come December 8th, I think it is December 8th or 9th, I'll find out, what Twitter's like. We'll find out what the verified thing is. Now, I did say publicly, and I've said this from the start, if they add in an ID verification process with a check mark, which is what verified is, the account is verified, we know who the human behind it is or the organization. If you add that ID element, I'm in there. I'll do it. I think that makes sense. That's the whole point. Verified. Identification. Proven. That's the whole point. And of course, now we see all these accounts with official underneath their names. So it's like, well, now we kind of have a two-tier system. I don't think it doesn't, I don't care. I don't look at verified. Ooh, verified. Bow down to the, no. Come on, man. Verification is just a simple way for you with your eyes to go, okay, that account is what it is, and I can trust that there's a human behind it, and it is the organization or the person that it says it is. It doesn't mean that they're reputable. It doesn't mean that they're trustworthy. It doesn't mean that they're good peoples or persons. It just means that the ID is verified. It's up to you to decide if they're reputable, trustworthy, etc. That's not, because it was interesting. I had a conversation with my wife, and that's one of the things she kind of said, which is, oh, it just means that they're trustworthy. No, I said, no. It doesn't mean they're trustworthy. It just means that they're verified. That you know that, this is Toyota, this is Coca-Cola, this is Nestle, this is GM, do you know what I mean? Right? I'm rattling off names. Would you have to pay for the ID verification? It sounds like you will have to, TechWare, and I'm all for that. If I'm going to get the features and whatever that I had before, or you can get right now with Twitter Blue, as long as they put that ID part behind it, I'm all for that. As long as because right now with current how verification was before, your name would get so big, you would have so many followers, you might be in the press a lot, Twitter Verified would approach you and say, hey, we need to identify and verify your account. You had to submit your identification anyway. Anybody that got Twitter Verified before, through the old process, they'll tell you that they had to submit documentation, whether it was a passport, driver's license, government issued, whatever it is, to prove that they are who they are behind it, or so that Twitter knows who's behind it. So if they say, okay, you can have a verified check mark and all these features, and you have to give in your license or your passport, fine. I'm okay with that, as long as it's secure. And away we go. Stop paying for it. Lose your check mark and all those features, fine. Twitter's my second largest platform. I have directly profited from Twitter before, from using Twitter. I love connecting with my peers and people that follow my content on Twitter. I love getting into discussion and even arguments on Twitter. It's great. Don says here, I just want to know, am I a lord or am I still a peasant? I don't think that even existed anyway. People that looked up the check marks before were just, I think that's just kind of odd. I mean, it just seems kind of weird, right? As far as I'm concerned, we're all on the same, on the same level there. So yeah, that's supposed to all be coming out November 29th. That's what the tweet from Elon said. So that'll be interesting. That'll be, the Twitter saga continues. In the meantime, I've been kind of posting the same sort of stuff over on Mastodon. If you want to find me over there, you can. I've put the link on my Twitter, ironically enough. It's kind of funny. Former employees and families and friends of Twitter employees. So former Twitter employees, their friends and family have their own Mastodon community that's still connected to all the other servers on Mastodon and everything like that. I think that's kind of funny. I can't remember what the actual address is, but I think it's kind of interesting that they're all over there talking and everything like that. So yeah. Exactly. And I always thought that there should be a verification process. I've had to submit my identification to Twitter in the past for a couple of situations. They take it, they check, and they say they delete it. Now, for verification check marks before, do they keep that? I'm imagine they do keep it. So as long as it's kept encrypted, it's not going to be getting out there, fine. That I've got no issue, right? All three of us on Mastodon. Hey, how many followers am I up to on Mastodon right now? Not that I'm keeping track or anything. I've got 18 followers. 18 followers. Yeah. So, the Mastodon app needs some work. I'm thinking of changing up servers. So think of your server on Mastodon as kind of like your home hub. So that's what you'll kind of see in your timeline. But if you're following people across from other servers, you'll see their information, right? You'll see their toots. I think they call it a toot. Yeah, they call it a toot. Yeah. I'm having issues tooting. I've had that issue too. Get some bran in your diet there, man. You'll be good to go. Laxatives. So, tomorrow night, you guys know that Thursday night is my conversation with the creator. I've got an awesome person on, friend of mine, someone I look up to, someone I love going back and forth with. He's been helpful in the back end of things. He's been incredible work ethic. Kind of left the tech scene for a while. We'll talk about that with him and everything, and other things, and we'll talk to him about popcorn. Travis MCP will be here tomorrow, same time. Conversation with a creator, so bring your questions and whatnot. I'll get the links up and everything tomorrow. So I'm definitely looking forward to that, especially with how Travis has kind of shifted his he started a whole new channel, right? And I gotta tell you, starting a whole new channel it's very refreshing. It's almost freeing in a way. But I know that he's had his challenges and whatnot, and things like that. And of course, he's come back and done some tech things. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about, like I said, popcorn, all sorts of things. So it should be a good conversation. Travis is always a good time and whatnot. And he works with vidIQ there, and they're doing great things over there. They're one of the best, YouTube plugins that you can get out there and whatnot, along with TubeBuddy's also obviously great as well. I use both. I think a lot of creators do. I don't think I use both properly, but I definitely take advantage of the tools that I have there. So we'll talk a little bit more about probably a little bit of stuff about vidIQ and the creation process and whatnot. So that should be fun. And stop drinking Tim Hortons in general. Okay, it's Tim Hortons. No. McDonald's coffee. That's where it's at, buddy. Or Starbucks if you like paying a lot of money. Yeah, man. Yeah. So, Pixel Fold leak this week. Interesting. Well done. We had the more Twitter drama. I can't think of anything else that's happened. Apple's been kind of quiet lately. I know Qualcomm is doing their summit right now. MediaTek did their thing. I think it was last week. So those have been kind of cool to watch. I gotta bug John Rettinger, get him on here. It'll be a year, I think, the last week of December that he was last on here. So I would like to kind of make that anniversary thing. I'll have to bug him and whatnot and get him on the show and everything like that. A couple other creators. There's some other Instagram exclusive or TikTok exclusive creators that I've reached out to that I'm probably going to get on here. It's always interesting to get creators on that are not YouTube centric on to talk. A lot of Twitch streamers, whatever, to get them on here and get them to talk and everything like that. So definitely working on that. The conversation with the creators thing is something I desperately want to make sure I am doing every Thursday. As for live streams, I mean, I'll be doing tomorrow, like I said, with Travis, and then the next stream will be Sunday because I told you guys I'm taking Fridays and Saturdays off. To be perfectly honest, because things are going to be happening here very quickly with the Pixel channel, and because of the approach I want to start taking with the Pixel channel, I'm not sure if I'm still going to be doing the Sunday through Thursday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday with the live streams or whatever. I definitely will continue doing the Thursday live streams and then Sunday. I don't know about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll see. And I know that kind of goes like, what is this guy doing over here? Listen, you guys know that this channel's a mess. We all know it's a mess. Come on. But it's ZAKtalks TECH. We're talking about the tech, right? But I really like being niched down and whatnot and doing the thing on the Pixel channel. Now, that being said, I can't remember who linked it. Earlier this week, someone linked a channel and a video where the guy broke down how Casey Neistat does videos. And I've watched Casey break down how he does his video. You got a beginning, middle, and end. You've got a story, a conflict, a resolution kind of thing. And it made me think about Casey Neistat's content. I love Casey Neistat's content because it's a story that's told in, 6 to 12 minutes kind of thing, right? And it's, before I know it, it's over kind of thing. And it's so well done with the different angles but again, especially with the storytelling. Travis did a video, I can't remember when, 2 years ago. We're going to talk to him about this. I think he still has it pinned on his Twitter, where he said that Casey Neistat is one of the best tech reviewers out there because he's not a tech reviewer. And I 110% agree with that. I do, because he tells a story with the tech and the things that he does. And I've even gone back and watched like old Samsung things that he's done and whatnot. And I'm just like, I really like that kind of storytelling. Now, I realize it's not for everybody. And some people want to have the talking head and here are the specs and here's how it works and here's how it compares. There's obviously a niche and a need and an audience for that because it works for a lot of people. And when I go back and I look at a lot of my content that I've done here and on the Pixel channel and the other channel that I'm doing on the side, the storytelling stuff seems to get some of the more traction. And really don't know until I try. So, what do I think of Mr. Who's the Boss? I love Aaron. I interviewed him at CES a couple years ago. There's an interview with me and him on the channel. If you look it up on, I think it's CES 2021 or 2020. I can't remember. You'll find him on there. I love Aaron. I love what he's been doing lately. His shorts have been awesome as well, but his long form content has always been. Aaron's one of the best. I absolutely love his stuff. Absolutely. Brett, how you doing, man? Glad you're here. Now it feels like so many people are copying Aaron's format. Mine's not going to be as clean. I definitely want to do more of a kind of like a run and gun, using the device, using the Pixel, using it, whatnot, getting out of the house, getting out of the studio kind of thing. Because I think in the long run, for the majority of people that watch tech videos and even the average consumer, that almost makes more sense. I've talked about this before with you guys. I've said, when I talk about tech, like with my parents, with my mother, for example, I don't tell my mother it has a 50 megapixel camera, 256 gigabytes of storage, and a 5,000 milliamp battery. I say it's got an awesome camera, lots of storage space on there, so you can take tons of pictures of your grandkids, and the battery will last all day. Right? Like I make it make sense. Right? Like I make sense of the tech. I get more those kind of viewers than anything else. People that are confused. I'm part of the Google Pixel and Pixel Reddit forums. There's two of them. And somebody asked a question, I think it was earlier today, saying they were debating between the Pixel 6a or the Pixel 7. And I told them, listen, if you want the latest and greatest, you get the Pixel 7. If you care about zooming, get the Pixel 7 Pro because of the telephoto. Otherwise, the 6a, especially at its current price with the Black Friday deals, the 6a is your value add. Keep in mind, it is a 60 hertz refresh screen. So if you're coming from something that's higher than 60 hertz refresh, like a 90 or even a 120, it can be a little daunting. It might take you a couple hours to get used to it. But if you're just, I want to be able to check Facebook, get my email, take an occasional picture, which is what this person needed, the 6A that's a win right there. Flat screen, easy to put on a screen protector, right? Still got that great design, nice and pocketable, right? All day battery, still going to have that amazing camera software. And I think they ultimately went that way. Again, that's just my opinion, but like if you really kind of break it down, and I like showing people those kind of things, right? So now, before I do anything like with new Pixel devices over on the Pixel channel, I definitely want to try that kind of format with a full Pixel 6 Pro review, which I know that plenty of people have done a Pixel 6 Pro review, but I'm the only person that can do a ZAK Pixel 6 Pro review. So I'm excited about trying some new things. I need to try new different things as a creator. If it fails, it fails. I'll never know unless I try it, right? So that'll be fun. But again, I have a new daytime gig right now, so I haven't been on Twitter as much as I usually am. And again, this kind of goes back to, like I said, I don't know if I'll be able to continue the regular live streams, but I definitely want to continue the Thursday creator talk kind of thing, right? So we will see how things kind of shape up after this weekend. I'm hoping to pick up the 7 Pro this weekend. We'll see what happens. Question. Actually, just response here. Techwear now, it's extremely bad if they don't bring anything more or your own. So Sarah G has learned a lot from Casey, but she does her own thing. Exactly. Yeah. I understand what you're saying, Techwear, but I don't want to be like Aaron. I don't want to be like Unbox Therapy. I don't want to be like Marquez Brownlee. These are all people that I very much look up to and are fellow creators, and I've had conversations with and everything. I've got to drill out my own path and whatever, and especially with a possible Bill C11 happening here in Canada. I'm definitely going to be. I'm not going to say that I'm be curating the pixel content for Canadians, but there'll be more of an obvious Canadian angle to things. You guys know I go out and I do the pictures of the mountains and of the foothills and things like that and everything. So, that environment will stay consistent, everything with pictures, with video and whatnot. So, but yeah, I know Techwear. I think we're completely on the same. Techwear, we're completely on the same boat. We're on the same road here together. Don't worry, it's all good. But yeah, I definitely want to start exploring more of a Canadian angle and whatnot, especially if Bill C11 gets pushed through, and then who knows what will happen with the next election and everything like that. And I'm not going to get into C11. You can look up on your own on that. It's a bunch of BS and everything like that. So we will see. It'll be in my best interest. And I know fellow Canadians here in the chat, Genos, Don Coven, etc., whatnot. I think they kind of understand and whatnot. So I guess we'll see what happens. And of course, we're getting in we're going to be getting into the slowest season here in about a month or so, about mid-December. Things dip off. CES happens, which I don't plan on going right now unless the sponsor comes along and says, here, we'll pay for everything. I haven't had that yet. I haven't pursued that. I really don't think I'm going. If I get invited, if someone wants to, like I said, they want to sponsor me, cool. Otherwise, I'm not holding my breath. Not a big deal. I need to concentrate on things here. So, hey, we'll see what happens. Anyway, are we getting a 6A review soon? Probably. I have a friend who's getting a 6A, and I've really been bugging him. I'm like, dude, I just need that for 24 hours just to get some B-roll and kind of, put my sim in there for 24, 48 hours kind of thing. Because I've used A-Series before, and A-Series have always been amazing and whatever. So I just need to get my hands on it to really get the feel for it, do the comparison with the Pro and whatnot, and go from there. But let's be honest, TechWire, we've all seen enough A-Series reviews and whatnot between the tweets and the Instagrams and all the other videos out there. I think it's safe to say that that's an amazing value add. Right? I think right now in Canada it's $4.99. Let me just double check. Here in Canada right now, the 6A is $4.99, so it's $100 off. So I think it's like $3.99 American. It might even be less than that. That's a crazy steal. Even if you picked up one as like a backup device, man, that is a steal right now, especially with that camera on there. Oh, 3+ years of updates and everything, the security and whatnot with Google. Kind of depressing that the 4 series, 4 and 4XL are, I wouldn't say end of life, but no more security, no more Android updates. Your apps will get updated, but that's crazy. It's been 3 years. Anyway, people, not quite an hour, no big deal. We'll roll the outro here. Tomorrow, conversation with a creator. Travis MCP will be here. Well, not here, but we'll have him on the show and everything like that. So bring your questions for him. The links and everything for that, like that, will go out tomorrow. I'll do it sometime tomorrow during the day, and we'll go from there. So appreciate you guys tuning in this evening. I know the shows are always late here. It's almost 11 o'clock Eastern. It's only quarter to 7 there on the West Coast, so it's still early. 8:45 here, Mountain Time. Central's an hour ahead. Anyway, I will catch you guys tomorrow and all on the Twitters and all that kind of stuff. You guys all take care. Cheers.